We are on day 2 of B2B, back to basics in home design. Day 2 is B, and budget. Everybody wants to know how much. How much is it going to cost in order to redesign or redecorate this room? And that is a very valid question. But that same question can get in the way of even beginning home design because there's a perception that great design costs a lot of money. And it can. If you go about approaching home design in the I'm going to buy out and buy the spring collection of Pottery Barn this weekend to make all the changes right now approach, yes, it would cost too much money. And I have never worked with anyone, save one, who has ever done that. It's not realistic. Most of us have real budgets, real homes, real timelines, real jobs, real busy lives, and we can't necessarily afford the brand new spring collection at Pottery Barn when we want to make a change. And that's actually very good news. And it's very good news because home design is nuanced. And nuance of home design comes with a storied look. It means that it looks like it's put together and curated over a long period of time. It doesn't have to be, but it looks like it does. So what I want you to think about when you think of budget is not, here's my 2000 to put away right now, and that's all I have to make my changes happen. You could start with that amount, and I do want you to think about what you can start with, but I want to challenge you to think about budget with this formula. Are you ready? It's a little different. Timeline plus biggest impact equals budget. What do I mean by that? What I mean is sometimes your timeline is going to be flexible in order to make the biggest impact changes over time. You're going to have to flex that budget in order to reach those biggest impact changes. But sometimes, and in my experience, most of the time, I would say 90% of the time or more, I have found that the biggest impact changes first in any room design, any home staging, happen with the least monetary value. It's true. Sometimes I have found that when I've made these little change, well, they're big changes, but with little monetary investment, it has made it so that the things I thought I needed to change down the road, I didn't necessarily have to change. Or I didn't necessarily have to change as soon as I thought I wanted to because it was driving me crazy. So here is an example. And I'm going to give you a link right now to tell you if you want my other 5 changes in home design that you can make this weekend with very little monetary value. I want you to go to this link and I want you to grab them. These are 5 things I've recommended to every home staging client and every home design client because they work over and over and over again. And this is the first one. The first one is paint. Paint can be and has shown to me to make the mightiest impact in the overall look and feel of your home. Now, if you want the other 4, I want you to go to bit.ly/5, the number 5, home secrets. So what happens when you start understanding, yesterday we talked about the anatomy of the room, understanding the purpose of the room. When you start understanding the purpose you have for the room and the anatomy of the room with anchor pieces and peripheral pieces, you start understanding how the things you have currently either meet or don't meet the purpose you have intended for the room you want to redesign. That's good news because that will help you start formulating your list of things you want versus need. If you have a perfectly functional couch in a room that you want to seat 10, that is very low on the totem pole of things that you can buy. Even though you might want a new couch, it is very low on the totem pole. So your highest impact, your biggest impact change might not be the most expensive thing that you need to change. It could be down the line a little bit. And if you start with something that's a little bit more dramatic in terms of impact rather than monetary value, sometimes you even realize, I don't need to make the change at all. It's actually little peripheral pieces like pillows and textiles and things that will make the mightier change. In fact, I have found time and time again that anchor pieces versus peripheral pieces, if you know what to focus on, what to concentrate on, the peripheral pieces pack the mightier punch time and time and time again. They are the nuance, the storied pieces, and they are the things that make the mightiest impact. So don't be scared. Don't be afraid of budget. Don't be afraid of a monetary term, because when we flip budget on its head and we think about timeline, flexible timeline, plus biggest impact, we are going to end up with a budget that is more realistic for all of us busy moms who are trying to do it all. Okay, if you want more information, I know that was very, very big. At the end of these 5 days, I am going to give you some information about how you can get more information. So stick around and you're going to want to know.